Thank you for keeping it, film hackers. I'm so excited today because we're going to have a conversation that has been pending for a very long time. And every time I meet people, they keep asking me, Mulondo, you used to be doing this business. I'm like, yes. But I have people who are more experienced than me, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes, how to leverage events and weddings, how do you do a good job as a service provider, what's the best way to give your client value for money. But first, please remember to wear your mask, please remember to keep a social distance, please remember to stay safe, all right? And start to eat properly. And I tell you people in events, you don't eat well. But good morning. How is COVID treating you guys?
Yeah, we are working. Yeah, we are doing events. Although they are saying they are scientific, but we are staying afloat.
Interesting. Yeah. What are you eating to stay healthy?
Really scientific, James.
We shall talk about the definition of scientific events. But joining me from my extreme left, this man is from Bridge Films, Bridge Pictures.
Bridge Films, sir.
It's registered as Bridge Films, trading as Bridge Pictures.
Films.
Alpha, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you for coming. James Lubinga, next to me. He's also known. I saw that video from NBS of the woman who said, "Mama, mama," when the elephant was chasing her. And the first person I thought about was you. I'm like, wow. James from Paramount, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Right to my extreme right, this man, Ssemakula Jeff from Makula. Thank you for joining us. And just next to me here, celeb cinematographer, Bob. How are you?
I'm okay.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Let's start from just at the announcement of the lockdown and that weddings were cancelled. How did you receive the news?
The following week, I had an event coming up. I was a Kwanjura, and then a wedding, Kwanjura on Friday, and then a wedding on Saturday. Clients called me, and you can guess the mood. It was funny. And then one, they didn't know. They said they were going to push, but they didn't know up to when.
Yeah.
And then the following day, phone calls started coming through. And then we were on the WhatsApp chat with James and the group, and everyone was cancelling. And it was a trick because one, survival financially. If people are cancelling, that means they're going to deposit.
Yes.
Or they're not going to pay balance. So it was a trick. It was a bit funny, I should say. Funny. We didn't know what next.
Yeah.
And that was the feeling.
Did you also have cancelled events or shoots?
No, honestly, I think on my end, it was still flowing because I do mostly like promotional videos.
Yeah.
We had already moved online. We had like concerts that were happening online even before the lockdown.
Yes.
So we never felt, actually, I think, I'm sorry to say, but I think it worked in our favor.
Your favor.
Yeah.
It is on record that the billionaires of America have made more than $250 billion during the lockdown. And I felt so sad when I heard that news. So when you say that you actually, this thing worked for your favor because now it has pushed service clients to recognize the power of online. James.
Yes.
We hosted you at I think around the beginning of the lockdown.
Yeah.
And you talked about your own experience and how this pandemic has treated the business. Yes. From your end as Paramount, what percentage of events did you lose, and how are you starting to work against this thing? Because it's here for a long time.
Yeah, sure. When the lockdown came in, actually for us as Paramount, our main target has been destination weddings and people in the diaspora. We have about 40% of our clients are Eritreans and Ethiopians. So all of those had to cancel, and we don't expect them this year, not even at the beginning of next year.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So they are deposited, but they had to, because of all the signed agreements, so they had to lose that money. All people in the diaspora, because there are many people from Boston and the US, basically US and UK, also cancelled about more than 30 weddings.
Wow.
So we had to now look at the local market. The most important thing we had looked at was that we had branded a lot, and we had our social media platforms, especially YouTube, because we have been doing a lot of YouTube videos. So people started inquiring about what we do, and the most important thing that we're able to start doing scientific events. So when people see you working, they know you are still in business. So we started booking, and by now, the whole of this year is actually fully booked.
Wow.
Yeah. We are not working at full capacity, being paid the other money we used to charge, but at least we are staying afloat.
Yes.
Yeah, and we think we will still work.
Have you had to cut your charges? Because I MC weddings. And just so you know, I am really good. So I'm really good. But someone calls you and says, Brian in scientific, and you're like, but so have you had to cut your prices?
No. We haven't. What's fun is that when the lockdown was announced, we were 3 episodes into a Pepsi show, which we were doing from here.
Yes.
So in the first few days, we were asked to cut down on our crew to a limited number of 2 people, which was unrealistic.
Yeah.
And then the following day, the client had to cancel the show because it involved taking money to the winners in their communities, which was against the SOPs. And then there was that thing of let's first go home, we wait for COVID, then we'll come back.
Yeah.
So, stupidly, we went home for like 2 months.
Right.
Then the fact that 90% of our clients are development agencies and NGOs, most of them cut down on their spending into comms. So we had to change the strategy. So now we are moving into feature documentaries rather than the kind of work that we were doing. Yeah.
Wow.
So it has disrupted a lot our nature of business, but we didn't have to cut down on our prices. Yeah.
That's interesting. If you're at home and you're watching, please join the conversation on Facebook and Twitter. We are live on Netstudios Africa. We're also live on Garage Group. We're also live on Film Hackers. Drop your questions and start the conversation with us this morning. How do we leverage events and wedding business as a photographer or a videographer? That conversation is going to change the way we look at, this business, because there are so many talking points which we won't, finish here. But I want to find out from you guys. Makula, you have started a story show on, what do you call it?
I call it the wedding chats.
The wedding chats,
Yes.
yeah, because I saw Joel Senyonyi's story. Really incredible. I also saw Angie's story on Instagram. What are you doing during this time?
First, like I said, when the weddings were cancelled, we were home. I thought, what do I do? Do I learn a new skill? And I'm a photographer, yeah? And being a photographer, there are things that I would want to know as a wedding photographer, rather I would want my clients to know as a wedding photographer, but it's not out there. Clients only come to us when they have a wedding, yeah? And then you can't advise because they have these committees and all that it comes with. And I figured there's a lot of information that as vendors we have that they need to have.
That clients need
to know,
Yeah.
yeah? For example, I need to know, why would I hire you as an MC?
Yes.
Yet I have an uncle, probably, who speaks good as a servant, you know? So I felt, bring on the vendors, talk to them, have conversations with them, then the clients can know the things that they need to know, yeah? So after that, I said, okay, I hosted a number of people on my Instagram Live, and the conversations were beautiful. And then I when Joel happened, when Joel finally got married, his story was beautiful because it was everywhere. The story, all that it came with. I was like, okay, yeah. One, I want to build my YouTube. I was hesitant on posting all my work there because it's a trick. Most of you here on YouTube getting the 1,000 and stuff.
The
like,
subscribers.
If I had have this Joel, sit him down and tell his story through my medium, there's going to come subscribers.
Absolutely.
And it's going to work for me. And then the stories can reach many more people. That's what I did. Joel comes, we talk about their story. There's many people we haven't posted yet. And for me, it's everyone's story, love story is different. We are Makula Pictures, we're about love and celebrating stories. So stories, again.
Right. James, what are you doing during this time? The special things that have kept you afloat?
For us, first of all, we have looked at people who have been so much into content creation because we are in many networks. First of all, we have been looking at taking pictures for websites. Everyone during COVID wanted to go on the internet.
Yes.
They want to do videos, they want to set up websites, promote their businesses, and I saw that as an opportunity to develop my business. So we've been looking at companies, looking for pictures, especially products to market. So we've been doing that seriously. Secondly, weddings. We did not stop.
Yeah.
We are booking weddings.
Because that's a core business.
Yeah, it's a core business.
Yeah.
Now, like tomorrow, I'm doing 4 weddings. The whole of this month I've
Did you say 4 weddings?
Yeah, 4 weddings.
In one day?
Yeah, one day. This month I'm having about 18 weddings I'll be working on.
Wow.
So it is all about people knowing that you exist and you are doing a good job.
Yes.
They will still come to you.
Yeah.
So for us, we are still focusing on the weddings as we're also looking at doing other things which can bring in the money.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you advise a photographer, probably not attached to Bridge Films, because the company has muscle to attract people, but there's a guy seated in his house with his camera. How does he leverage this time now during this entire pandemic, which will probably go until the end of next year?
Are we talking about the guy who is already into photography?
Yeah,
or someone
he's into
who just
photography,
wants to start?
but he's a solo guy in his small office in some mall somewhere, and business is not working.
Okay. What I would advise that one guy right now is to look for guys like James to get into such partnerships, because at some point it gets really difficult to get off your feet, especially for what is going on right now. Movement is so limited, events are so limited. So I think the easiest way out is to get into strong partnerships with huge companies like Paramount.
Yeah, maybe to add on that, most of these guys, what they need to look at is the problem they are solving. Today, people are looking at problem solvers. A photographer will come, yes, Paramount, I'm there, but when you come up with something new, people will come to you, okay? The question is, which problem are you solving that others are not solving? Yeah. So at the end of the day, people will come to you. And then secondly, people should look at monetization. As for me, I always emphasize it. We can monetize our YouTube channels. We can monetize our websites. We can monetize so many, and we get that passive income. So if people can focus on that, there's a lot they can get from the business. So don't leave that camera there and just wait for people to call you.
Because they may never call.
Yeah, they will not call you. Yeah.
But you see, that works in a long run. We are talking about now. Like, how does that guy survive now?
Before we see them on TV, I'd like to really, because I know friends who have literally, their lives have shut down because of this. They are not working. Yeah. So I have my content, some of that content, and I like the fact that you've talked about monetization. Cinematographer.
Maybe to add on that, there's a famous saying now that this year is for survival, like to get out with your head up. Maybe what they can do is to look at the future, like to start doing, like the way you said, to reinvest in themselves, to come up with new ideas, but for next year. But for this year, the only way out, partnerships.
Yes.
Yeah.
Partnerships. And that's why this show is here. This show is not happening on its own. It's a massive partnership between 3 companies. Okay? So imagine that, all right? So that's why we encourage you to start these conversations. For us here at Film Hackers, we'll continue to doing that. But what is Film Hackers exactly about? I want you to watch this video. When we come back, we are going to talk about some of the challenges that people in the events business are facing. How do we solve them? And also, let's look inward. What are we not doing right? Yeah, my guy. Because I have had clients. So you see, when I book a wedding, and I usually ask someone, who is filming for you? And they're like, it is James. Okay. James is, they are good. Who is filming for you? It is Shafiq. Shafiq, yo, bagambe bambale bulungi. So I do that for my clients, I'm telling you. So when we come back, we're going to talk about some of those things that happen and how can we overcome them. Stay with us.
What does it take to change the world? It takes a long chain of resilient men and women, endowed with various skill sets and divergent mindsets, holistically working together to achieve a common goal. It is a synergetic effect of different art forms combining into one to think, design, and create mind-blowing stories. A systematic workflow and processes from department to another. A set of professional tools and elements designed to create and fine-tune. It takes persistence, consistency, and collaboration to tell compelling stories, to evoke emotions, and to change the world. We have designed a one-stopover center online with all the seasoned creatives from all the realms of the film industry. Together, we can. We are the Film Hackers.
Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, use the hashtag Film Hackers to join the conversation. You should tell us what are some of the challenges you're facing, or what are some of the things that industry players should actually do better. All right, you can watch this, share, or start a watch party and invite fellow service providers or clients or people that are passionate about this industry. And that's what Film Hackers is about. We're creating a platform where all people involved in this industry can come, collaborate, work together. We'd like to see some of those names on blockbuster movies in Hollywood, right? Or award-winning documentaries. Or I really want to start a Ugandan show on an international channel that talks about weddings. We are busy watching Nigerian weddings like a problem, you know. That's why I was excited about wedding chats, because I was, this could do for something. My guests today, I have Alpha, I have James, I have Bob, and I have Jeff. These guys have done the work, they have put in they are not gurus, and they're also learning, but hey, we call them so they can share their experiences with us. Let's talk about the challenges of the industry, because everyone, while you're making the money, you're like, ono yasa sudena yanzi sa stress. Jeff, what are some of those challenges you've seen?
The challenges is, besides misinformation, where clients need to be educated about a few things, and we're not doing that enough. We also are to blame, like I won't say partially. It has been said, Shafiq was joking with us earlier, how we're not professional. And he said we, all of us, because if you find a photographer at an event who is poorly dressed or who is saying things that they shouldn't be saying, all cameramen are like that. Yeah?
That's true.
And that's a challenge we are unfortunately failing to, even within ourselves, separate ourselves from, there's a lot that we don't want to be like, and there's, so there's that. The challenges are, for me, I think it's the misinformation that the clients, and then there's us, the clients want a certain, picture of us. We probably don't know that picture, and maybe they're not telling us enough. And then also them, we think there are things that they should know, but they don't know. So there comes a problem.
There's an information gap somewhere. Yeah, so you end up clashing with your client. What about you?
For me, honestly, it's more of like it goes to accounts. That department of the client, where you put in a request and you're like, let me have the 50% today so that I prepare myself early enough to be ready for your production. And then this 50% comes in at around midnight when you're supposed to be shooting tomorrow at 6 a.m. And after getting that money, the thing is, I paid this guy to come and do this. Now he's not showing up. And remember the things, you have to pick some lights from Brian, you have to get some lens from Solo.
Solo
wants his money in advance. It's like, man, but equipment, and you're like, man. So I think that has been the biggest challenge I've had in production.
Right.
Yeah.
Clients paying or depositing on time. James, you run a multi-million wedding, you have 18 weddings in a month. That's crazy. I would have sleep bags. How do you work? First of all, do you get any challenges?
Yes, we do. At Paramount, we have challenges, and most of these are man-made, actually. Most of the challenges in the photography industry are man-made, and they can be actually solved. And this is something I've also tried with my friend Jeff, to see that we try to improve the industry, although you cannot do it alone. The greatest problem is focusing on money, not developing the industry. When you look at our industry, that everyone who enters is looking at how much can I make. Okay? You do not look at the future. Because if we are all looking at developing the industry, one will be reading a lot, doing a lot of research, training others, helping others grow. And then at the end of the clients can be able to pay us whatever we want.
Oh, yes.
Because for like me at Paramount, I know clients have the money. But I cannot be able to get that money from them. Because sometimes when they look around, they say, no, I don't see any Ugandan who can shoot my wedding. You have seen the Sudilos doing weddings, and they get photographers from India. They import. So where's the problem? It is because if we are not focusing on the most important areas, but if you have to focus on those areas, for example, capacity building, to me it has been one of the greatest challenges ever since I started. That today you train someone in 2 years, because they are mostly boys.
Yes.
They want to start their own life.
Yes.
They are looking at buying a car, building a house, marrying someone, and at the end of the day, they cannot be with you throughout. So they need to buy their own cameras and everything. So in every 2 years, you have to retrain. Actually, the more you pay them good money, the more they will run away. Because they can buy the cameras, they know how to pitch, they know how to take the pictures. Yes, and you cannot do everything alone. So it is all about capacity building. If we can be able to train people, because now at the end of the day, just imagine me, Jeff, him, and we're in one company. And you are our boss. Just imagine the quality of work we would produce.
Fantastic work, man.
But today we have so many fragmented, small companies. Everyone has a Facebook page and all that. And all of us were just struggling around. So you can't compare us with other people in other industries. So we need to look at building capacity.
Wow. Do you know what? I'm actually thinking about this, because if you have, like, all of you guys are fantastic. If you are in one company, we would have the James Cameron version of setup.
It's
for
hard.
it,
It's
though.
hard to like.
I think clients will pay.
Yeah.
No, the thing is, it's hard to like bring everyone together. Yeah. But what I think is collaborations. Yeah. You have like production. And you're like, what? Jeff, fall in. Let's do this for you. You're going to take photos. Bob, you're going to be on the camera. Then now after you pay them, and then they just go out. Yeah? And if you do that, you become more of like a producer. You keep like getting everyone who is talented for that specific job, and it's done. I think that's the best way to move forward. But getting everyone and you put them under the same roof, it's hard.
Right.
Things can be done, just that we are not, the greatest problem is that we are not exposed.
As vendors.
Yes, most of us are here looking at the Ugandan situation. If we can move out, maybe we go to California and South, those guys work it out.
Yes.
Because, okay, if you go to maybe Disney, yeah, are they having individual guys coming to shoot?
Right. Right.
Okay? We need to look at the outside market. How are they doing it? So that at the end of the day, we can be able to produce something strong.
Yes.
But we all want to be independent. And at the end of the day, the year ends and we're all broke. You are independent, you don't have the money, you're struggling. You are all struggling, and you have seen it.
You are the Mugaga surrounded by Islam.
Yes. So at the end of the day, what is the importance of
Alpha.
Actually, what you're suggesting is not possible. And it has never been done anywhere. Because I remember back in the days when I was still doing the Zen Africa Challenge, they used to import guys from different countries. The guys who were doing lighting were coming from Netherlands, the graphics guys from Washington, then the cameras and the lights from South Africa. As in, it's impossible. You can't put all creatives in one room. You know.
Well, I think, I believe in rewriting the history. You know, you can twist it and do it. You have all the talented guys under one umbrella and you give it. And I have told people before, clients have the money. They just want the value for the money. And people are willing to pay. You know, someone will pay an artist to come and sing for 5 minutes over a karaoke track and give them 5 million without. And for me, when I'm getting business as an MC, I say, I am there for 3 hours. This is how your money will be used in the 3 hours. I give you the rate per hour. Yes, and so I say for someone as good as me, it will cost you this much. So I think we can rewrite the history right now. But yes, feed into that.
Going back to the challenges, this industry is one of those where people learn on job. Like most people come from wherever they are. They grab a camera, they learn how to shoot, and then they call themselves photographers. Now, that comes with many challenges. It leaves the professionalism out. So there's so many photographers, professional photographers, and then very few people advance to becoming the professionals. That's why you have a few people on top, people like James, people like him, because most of them, once they learn shooting and then for the Photoshop tricks, they stay on that level. And then that leads to the higher turnover.
Yes, of employees.
He was talking about.
Yeah.
It's because we don't have proper training institutions for photographers and videographers. It's because there's no like any organization or anything that is pushing us to be responsible. The same way you see those umbrellas for the nurses, for the lawyers, we don't have it here, and that's a challenge.
You don't have people even investing
in
the industry. Like I'm shocked how we have something like this in Uganda. This one went beyond to think about creating something big like this.
Right.
Just imagine if we have people investing in this industry.
Yes.
Maybe they think there's no money.
Yeah. Well, we are going to start creating that money. We are going to be rich. Let's have a conversation on getting business. How do you get your business? What tools are you using? Or where is the ground to go and fish for those businesses? Do people come to you? Do people find you on social media? what percentages are we talking about as far as getting business? Because I ask my own clients, how did you know about me? When someone asks me, come and MC my event, I'm like, why me? Joe, I saw you here and here and here. Okay. So I understand now where the core of my customers are coming from. How do you get your business, Jeff?
How do I get my business? How does Makula Pictures get business? I'll be honest. For me, it's been referrals. It's been referrals. Most of my clients have come through referrals. There are people who have made money off Facebook, who have gotten bookings off Facebook.
Yes.
Unfortunately for me, most of the inquiries that come through Facebook are not paying. They're probably not my target market and stuff.
Okay.
And it's I was talking to James and Shafiq earlier, as telling Shafiq how one of the things I admire about James is the consistency of 2013, 12, he was posting a lot. He made a lot of sponsorships, while many were not sponsoring. It was just Facebook. He posted a picture, he invested a lot. And with time, he stopped. He continued just because now people had known what Paramount is about.
Yes.
Then they would come. Then what I like to say is the client that you get, just do a good job. Yeah, on the 300 people who are going to be at that event, or the 5 bridesmaids, they could bring back business.
Yeah.
So for me, it's referrals. And then, with these tools around social media and stuff, put the stuff out there.
Yeah.
Somewhat, be in people's faces. And then also tell people what you are about, what your brand is about. If Bridge Films is about time, they keep time, they will know you for that. If they're about delivery, they'll know you for that, and people will come for that. Yeah. Again, for me, it's referrals, and then the people that I've gotten, I make sure they stay. I try to make sure they stay, and then keep work out there.
Right.
On the socials.
Yeah. Bob, how do you get your business?
For me, it's I think I built a bigger network when it comes to the people that I wanted to work with and where I wanted to go to, which was commercial, film, and destinational videos, travel.
Okay.
I associated a lot with the agency guys. Yeah. Then after that, I tried to tap into the people that can travel. And I remember I was at Coca-Cola. We had an event, and Nadia was there. I reached up to her and I'm like, let me just do for you a video.
One video.
For free. And you know what I can do. From there, we've done now 5, done her vlogs, I've done like great stuff.
Right.
Because now she understood what it was. Then she's like, how much? So I put a price to that.
Right.
She's like, fine, let's just go forward. Let's do videos. So it has been, whenever I get the job, nkafirako. Nkafirako. Because I know.
How do they say, oh, you are movie?
Oh, you are movie. Yeah. Right. So I know I will have to post it to get another job. Yeah. So I have to make sure that it's different from the one I had done before. I recently did a video of someone's birthday and I made it black and white. And I was scared. But the guy is like, wow! Bro! Yeah. So that's what I always do. I make everything different from the past.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. James, 18 weddings in a month. Mpake munje msingi. So you said most of your business, yes, Basama, the Eritreans and Ethiopians. How are you able to get into places like this? When someone understands their target audience, how do you then proceed to penetrate?
Actually, starting with that, 100% of our business depends on referrals. Most of these things we do social media and all that, it is relevancy, people know you exist and all that. For me, I started demography, part of it. I know something about demography, and I started doing photography since 1999. So I did a lot of film. And what I've known about the business and to stay relevant is you must know the demographics. How are things changing?
Yeah.
Before, we didn't have Ugandans traveling a lot coming back.
Yes.
We had our judges who went to the war. Okay, after the war, they were not giving. Okay, they gave birth to the children. We are photographing now, 25 years and above. They've started constructing. Before, when we were doing that photography, the rich were in Muyenga, and the people now they are going to Nalia, Chira. Yeah, that's why when this digital thing came in, we left the city, took studios to that side.
Yes.
Okay, so we look at how the population is moving and the technology. Every time population changes, you have to change your business. And when technology changes, you also have to change. Today, some people can be looking at maybe Facebook, but other people are looking at Google My Business channel as the most important area to market. Because it's your business is based on location, and people have to find you. So there are many things you look at, but you have to trend, and you have to move with the trends, and you have to market deep and wide. Don't just based on referrals only, but also look at social media, websites, and all that. You had a question.
James, you now provide images to Shutterstock. No, some people don't know that. Tell us about that. How did you start that partnership?
No. I used to do landscape photography. When I was still a geography teacher, because I started by selling those pictures to schools to use in photographic interpretation and, interpreting geography. And because I used to move around with the children and even myself alone taking those photos. So after learning how to take some of those landscapes, I started connecting with the people online on how to be able to sell those photos. So it is all about online connections. Yes.
Interesting. Talk to us on Facebook. We are live, and I see Ibrahim is saying, hey, James, the more you pay them good money, the more they run away.
That is very true.
Share your experience. There's a story here.
Yeah. From I don't need to mention.
The more you pay people, the more they. You see, I don't know how they call it, but the more money we get, the more we tag expenditure to it. Like when you start earning more, you actually want to shift from wherever you are to go to those posh places. You start looking into things like getting a car, buying an iPhone. Those things do not come cheap. So the more money you pay people, the more lavish they become, and the more broke they become.
That's so incredible. Yeah, I need to pay people more. Unless they can stay, they depend on you. Huh? Let's talk about...
Because the more, if you pay them less, you stand the risk of losing so much from your company in terms of the equipment, because they reach at a point whereby they feel like they need some money. So this guy is going to get your camera, hire it to some friend of his to go and work so you can get like 100K. But when you pay them well, you have to keep it in mind that at a certain point they will also have to leave, since we all did that.
To add on to his point of, I think the first thing for everyone is to invest into themselves, to be able to execute whatever job that they get, and then also the trick is simple. Once you step into any door, make sure you blow their mind away. You blow their mind, business will just flow.
Right.
But investing in yourself and your team has to be the #1 point.
People want...
That's how I do it.
Get in, blow someone's mind, and they'll come back the next time.
They make sure they keep you here.
Yes. Fantastic. In the times come, I'd like to, bring you guys back, and we talk about customer retention, because I think that's one of the major challenges. You get a job, you screw it up, and then, and then you become the topic of the city. And you're your guy at Uganda. When we come back, I'd like you to give some advice to people who are getting into the industry, but also answer to some of the queries that clients have said about us. Stay with us. Thank you so much for watching the Film Hackers Conversation. Every Friday we host people who will tell us how to improve our standards, who will give us some great advice on how to be the best. And if you've been watching these past few weeks, we've talked about the laws that had been drafted by UCC. We've had conversations on how to make money as a producer, as an actress. We also, last week, had a conversation on how to get your brand out online. And you saw the guys whose main work is online. And not just individuals, but also those who are from agencies, and because those are the main connections between clients, but also those who have started their brilliant YouTube channels and are now starting to earn from it. Go to the Facebook page of Film Hackers, see those conversations. And if you have any questions, we'll get our panelists to get on there and answer those questions. My name is Brian. Thank you so much for joining us. And joining me today, I have Alpha, I have James, I have Bob, and Jeff. And we're looking at how we can leverage events and wedding businesses as photographers and cinematographers. Good morning, Carola Yvonne. Thank you so much for watching. Kimna Ivan, I see you. Jay Godfrey is saying Bob Dixon is one of the best directors. Do you pay this guy?
No,
Hey, Customer will buy a black and white video. That's amazing. Hams, you're saying, thank you guys. We are learning a lot. Lucy Bunyenyes, you're saying, I'm loving the conversations. Good morning, Alexander Edward. Many people have said that cameramen, producers, directors, sijui photographers, that the way we dress at events is unacceptable. What do you guys say about that? What has been your experience?
I think we need to start with this guy.
We start with this one.
Yeah.
Okay. This one.
Because of our shots?
This is okay.
See, it's acceptable for...
It's a Friday.
Yeah.
All right.
It's acceptable for James to dress like that. It's acceptable for him to dress like that. But I would not do the same because we are different. These are the guys that deal with the corporates in the tents. Me, I'm always in the wild. I'm always on the run.
Right.
I'm in the field. Like, we are grabbing cameras. We are like shooting commercials. We want to feel comfortable.
Yes.
That's the whole point.
Yes.
So for me, it's not really about the presentation of how you show up. It's all about what you deliver at the end.
The work that you deliver.
Yeah, I think that's what is most important.
Okay.
And I've made it a point that for me, I will show up on the set in my shots. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, when you're working.
Yeah.
Alpha, what has been, talk about this. Sorry to turn this now, yes.
On the events perspective or general?
Generally, even at the, and primarily at events. You have a gig, you show up, and people are wearing dirty jeans. Some I've seen people who film in Crocs, and I was shocked beyond my wildest imagination. I'm telling you, open shoes. What are these? Like those poor quality ones Shafiq has. Yes, the ones. He's going to switch us off.
I think that goes back to individuals. And then remember the other point of like people run from wherever they are, gets a camera, learns how to shoot, no professionalism at all.
Yeah.
That's on an individual level because I can't put on Shafiq's shoes. And then also it also goes back to the level of organization in your business. As a business owner, you need to set rules for the people that you're working with. Smartness is key when you're going to shoot corporate gigs, weddings. However, on a personal level, I find it now difficult to put on trousers when I'm in the field. Yeah, because we do a lot of gun and run, right? We do a lot of crawling down, getting this, you carry the case, you jump there's a lot of work in the field, which at some point it becomes difficult when you're putting on jeans.
The stereotype that cameramen, producers, cinematographers must not dress like this. How do we break that?
We just need to create our style. Everyone, depending on what you do, you must know the people you're working with. Because if you are, like for us, weddings, you can't just go to church in shorts. Even if you are going to sit down and take a shot. Receptions are well lit with a very good decor.
Everyone is
important nice. Guests. Yeah. Put on your suit. Now, this is a reception. There's even no problem with you going and changing. After taking garden pictures, you've been sweating in the hot sun. Now we're entering into reception. We're expecting everything. You go to each one's table, taking a picture, moving closer. You know, you must be smelling well.
Yes.
Okay? So at the end of the day, we need to change that because it is costing us a lot when it comes to people respecting us. They look at the cameraman as I don't want to talk about border guys or any other guy. They don't respect you. Yes. When they say cameraman, even when you're talking about money, how much you're going to charge, because you put on badly, and the picture people have up there, they won't accept, we can't give you the 10 million.
Yes.
Just look the way you look.
Yeah.
Just look at yourself.
Yes.
Even the way you arrive in a wedding meeting to get that money. They say, hey, isn't this guy? Yeah, really. Will he show up?
That's so true.
Yeah. There are some things, okay, we can have them, like some people have their dreadlocks and all that. But looking at our culture and the people surrounding us, they are not used to some of those things. People in the film industry, you can have your dreadlocks, you can have everything. But when you are going somewhere, maybe in Ankole, somewhere to do an event.
Because every region has its own.
Yes,
yeah.
And you have your dreadlocks there, you have your shorts, and people can even take you as a thief.
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's true, I know.
You'll be arrested.
But we've had stories. I know a guy who arrested the cameraman. Yes, and called their boss and told them, I've arrested your boys. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I thought they were, these funny boys, I think we cannot say everything today, but I'd like each of you, in a minute, advice to people who are watching us and are interested in getting into the industry. How do they penetrate this?
Those that are watching and would love to get into the industry. One, learn your craft. You're there, you hold a camera, even if you don't have a camera. You can learn your craft, you can go on YouTube. Most of the guys here are self-taught.
Yes.
No one went to film school for this. And James is making a lot of money. Alpha is making a lot of money. Our celebrated director here is making a lot of money because he went on YouTube and learned a few of these things. Then Alpha said earlier, get mentors. Go to James this time and tell him, you know what, I would love to come and carry your light. Go there, not because you want to, you might go there to see how he relates with clients, how he talks to the clients, how he dresses up, learn a few things. And then, you see, such that when the opportunity is availed, presents itself, you're good to go. Learn, read a lot. Read a lot. There's just a lot on this phone, on the internet, that you can learn from. That's just.
Yes. I think let's now say that you know what you're doing, you know how to operate the camera, you know how to shoot, you know how to edit, yeah. Now share everything that you do. Do not despise what you've done. Do not think that it's not good enough to be online. Yeah. I speak from my angle. I never used to share my work because I thought, no. The client has made so many changes, it's no longer mine. I just let it go until I started sharing. I realized it's so powerful that once you decide to take the online angle, share all your work, even if it's bad, even if someone is going to look at it and it's different. And on top of that, work with the people who are in the industry, who are in the line of where you're focusing to be. Yeah.
All right. Interesting. James?
One, be patient. You cannot get everything in one day. It takes time to build a brand and to get the money you want. Those people you admire took their time. They have gone through a lot. And number two, get a mentor or even a manager. You cannot be everything. For us, we focus more on the technical aspects of photography and video, aperture, lighting, camera tricks, and all that. But we don't know things to do with the finance, insurance, managing others. That's why you find a very good photographer, but he's struggling.
Yes.
So
everyone they want to work
yes,
with him, like
get a mentor, get someone to always even advise you, even to manage your finances. You can't be everything. So if you want to go far, don't move alone.
Right. That's good. Alpha.
I think he has said it better. Yeah, that's what I wanted to
Right.
say. Yeah.
So good. You know what? I when you talked about managing finances, we're going to have another conversation on how to price your product. Why is James charging 10 million, Makula charging 25, Alpha charging 30, yet you're all doing the same thing? How do you know how to, quote? Some people say, with my quality, I don't do that for that money. But how do you arrive to that? I think we need to understand the business of the trade, and then you can be able to get all the money that you want. What are some of the tools to also to also run your accounts? Because some of us, what we've done is to take the money for the company is your personal money. When you die, the company goes down with you, We're going to have these conversations because we need a better industry. You want to wrap up?
I know a guy who's a photographer, so he does everything. He moves with a checkbook and a receipt book. So at some point, instead of signing a receipt book, he signed the check. He signed the check.
Very good. My name is Brian Mlondo. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Check out Netstudios Africa, our fantastic studio here in Chitintale, and you can come through and talk. There are sets, editing suites, audio mixing, audio recording. You can just have a full production right here. Okay, you can check out the Facebook page also. If you are a major player in this industry and would like to share your knowledge with us, reach out to us. Film Hackers, that's a Facebook page. Garage Group, those are the Facebook pages. And we shall see you next Friday. Bye-bye.
What does it take to change the world? It takes a long chain of resilient men and women, endowed with various skill sets and divergent mindsets, holistically working together to achieve a common goal. It is a synergetic effect of different art forms combining into one to think, design, and create mind-blowing stories. A systematic workflow and processes from department to another. A set of professional tools and elements designed to create and fine-tune. It takes persistence, consistency, and collaboration to tell compelling stories, to evoke emotions, and to change the world. We have designed a one-stopover center online with all the seasoned creatives from all the realms of the film industry. Together, we can. We are the Film Hackers.